Can trans men be feminine and still be valid? Let's talk about it. A narrative you hear a lot in the woke trans community is you don't need to pass in order to be a valid trans person. But not only that, we see a tendency with trans men looking completely like girls but still want to be validated as trans men. Or as men, actually. I have a lot of thoughts on that, so let me show you some examples. I love being feminine sometimes as a trans man because I know I can look like a cis guy if I try, so being feminine just feels like a cool woman cosplay. While it's not that easy to pass as the opposite sex, and you don't look like a cis guy, meaning a biological man, even when you feel like trying. I don't want to be too harsh on this woman because it looks like she has an eating disorder, so clearly she has some mental health issues, and I really feel for her. But yeah, you being a woman, biologically, is not a cosplay, and I really hope you don't think that's the case. Transphobic people can't handle this. Even though I dress feminine, I'm still a boy. I know you have to do some mental gymnastics to understand this, so let me try to explain it. It's girls who want to be boys, but then doing cosplay as girls. If that's true, I think it's even more effed up than the girls who want to be boys just because they don't like being girls. Do I need to say it? I think so. You don't have dysphoria. You're not dysphoric if you are born a girl and you're completely comfortable looking like one.
Hi, I'm Jake Gyllenhaal, and I'm hosting SNL this week with Camila Cabello.
No, Gyllenhaal. Your name is pronounced Gyllenhaal.
I guarantee you it is not.
That's definitely the case. A girl who wants to feel special. But I think it's also a little bit more serious than that. I mean, what is it with these young people who are born into a tolerant, equal society, but still don't feel comfortable being girls? I don't get it.
I get a lot of comments on my videos saying, "You look nothing like a man," or "When are you going to transform so you look more like a man?" So let me show you some pictures of what came off my vision board. As I transition, here's what I want to look like.
Okay, so this is a cartoon, Miss Girl.
As you can see, men come in many different shapes and sizes and all look unique. And every version of a man is valid.
That's true, but you're not a man. I have never seen anything like this. A feminine woman calling herself a trans man. And not only is she calling herself a trans man, she actually got top surgery and she's, what I assume, on hormones.
Good morning, everybody. It is day 3 post-op top surgery, and I am feeling fantastic. And as you can see, my caretaker and bestie gave me a special gift this morning. Nipples.
She's a woman with a mustache, and now no breasts. And I think the doctors who did that to her should be ashamed of themselves. How can these surgeons sleep at night, knowing that they cut off the breasts of a woman who's clearly mentally unstable? I feel really bad for her because there's nothing wrong with her wanting to get top surgery, wanting to get testosterone, but there's something wrong with giving it to her. No matter her age, she doesn't deserve to be a victim of medical malpractice.
Femme trans men do effing exist. Thank you for this comment, my friend. This is such an important thing to see because the transgender experience is so different and so unique to everyone. And I know all of you out there that are watching this video know that we do not owe anybody any version of masculinity when we come out as trans male.
But you do owe yourself to be as honest as possible. Why do you want to cut off your breasts? Why do you want to have a beard even though you look completely like a woman? What is really going on inside my head? You owe that to yourself. I hate the misconception that we transition because of other people. That the way we transition is influenced by other people. It's not. A gender transition is for the individual and for the individual only. It has nothing to do with other people, period. It's such a stupid take because transsexuals don't really care about that in the end. They only care about making themselves happy and feeling whole. So as I just showed you, there are a lot of girls and women out there who call themselves trans men while still looking like women and girls. And they don't make any effort to look like men at all. But I do sometimes see trans men who actually transitioned and actually look like men with the same narrative that, of course, trans men can be feminine and look like women. So let's watch that. If cis men can do it, then so can trans men. Showing my support to all my feminine trans men. You're valid. It's 100% true that a man can wear a dress and still being a man, because being a man means you're a biological male, and you cannot change your biological sex. In other words, there's no limit on how many ways you can be a man, because it's all about biology, and biology can't change. However, if a biological woman with the condition gender dysphoria transitions, but then decides to look like a woman, that is weird. But not only is it weird, I would say it's invalid. And before you say it's hypocritical, when I claim that there's a million ways to be a man, but there's not a million ways to be trans, that's because, unlike being just a man or a woman, being trans is a mental disorder. There is a limit on how you can experience gender dysphoria. The disorder will lose its meaning if we don't have a limit on the symptoms and how you can experience it. So this is another trans man, and putting on makeup, and then now looking like a woman, and he does that a lot. Yeah, so it's getting even more weird now. Yeah, I don't know any trans men who could do that. Not in any way. I feel dysphoric looking at this video. And here's his transition from female to male to being feminine to looking like a woman sometimes. I can't. I can't relate to any of this. And you might think, well, Marcus, what's the big deal? And that's what I have shown here on the screen. His pronouns are he, her. I mean, why did he transition then? What's the point? And before you say, well, he passed as a man, so he could do drag. That's true. However, how doesn't he feel dysphoric doing so? How doesn't he feel extremely uncomfortable doing so? That's why I start to question if he's truly a transsexual person. Regular men, biological men, can do whatever they want without feeling dysphoric, because they don't deal with dysphoria. So again, there's no limit on what they can do. But there is a limit on what transsexual men can do because of the mental disorder. I know this is complicated, but I hope it makes sense to you. But overall, this all comes from the idea that trans men are men. Trans men are biological men. Therefore, they can do drag. Therefore, they can look like a woman. But it doesn't make sense, and it invalidates our entire experience. And it's not necessary. We should feel comfortable being different and say, no, we're not the same as real men. No, we're not the same as regular women. We're trans men. We have a different experience. Why can't we just be proud of that? What's so wrong about saying that? I don't get it. And the most troubling thing about all this is that we don't tell these girls who don't want to be girls that it's okay to be a female. It's okay to be a woman. You can be whoever you want to be, but you don't have to change your gender. We should not promote radical gender ideology. We should promote therapy. I know that I'm not the most masculine trans guy out there. I am a little bit feminine, but I could never wear a dress, wear makeup, wear a wig. It would make me so dysphoric no matter how much I look like a guy. It doesn't matter. No matter what my situation is gender-wise, I'm a feminine person. I am sensitive, I'm creative, and I like to talk a little bit feminine and maybe act a little bit feminine, who knows? And I don't have a problem with it. I tried my hardest to be masculine in the beginning of my transition, and then I realized I feel even more dysphoric acting like I'm more masculine than I am. I am so comfortable in my own skin today, and I don't care what people think about my femininity or my lack of masculinity. I just see a lot of trans men out there acting too masculine, and it looks unnatural, and it would out them even more as trans. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, I'm just trying to be myself, because I think that's the most important part in all of this. Thank you all for watching this video. Leave a comment down below what you think. If you want to see more content like this, remember to like this video, hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want, you can support me with a small donation under Super Thanks. It would mean a lot to me if you did it, so thank you on beforehand. And I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.